Hello, welcome back. It's been like how long since I've streamed Umineko? Actually, oh god, just trying to tilt my mic up more so I could probably be heard better. But like, how long has it been? Like Steam for some reason says I haven't opened it since January, and I know that's not entirely true. I think I've opened it like once since then. I just don't remember when. But brain needs to get on with it, because again, it's one of those I haven't streamed in 2 weeks feelings. But I'm already fucking up my sentences. This is great. But as you probably noticed immediately, screen's looking different than usual, and it's because I forgot that I didn't have the game installed on my other hard drive. And you think the simple solution would be, oh, just plug in the other one in. I'm pretty sure I actually deleted the game on the other hard drive, and I don't know if that like kept like the specific mods in that I had, but I know that if since Steam got like the save already, I'm not entirely sure if it affects that, but it basically said if I remod it again, at least on this hard drive, it may fuck with the saves I have. So that's something I don't desire. Shit, I didn't even share the stream links on my... I gotta do this through mobile. I can't do it through PC anymore because for some reason YouTube just don't want me to. Wait a minute. Oh god, I gotta deal with the pachinko sprites. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out. Nah, get me out. Also, let me lower the game a bit. Nah, brother, I ain't. This will load. Oh! Oh well, shit. Damn. Okay, so let me plug in the other hard drive. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not. Okay, is it still... Let me close Steam. Close Steam fully. Open it back up. Like, this is really horrible troubleshooting time right now. Do I still have it downloaded on the... Oh, thank God. Okay, did it? There we go. There we go, baby. It actually shows what I wanted to show now. Let's go. Live troubleshooting. I just had to plug in the other hard drive. Also, hey Alex. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was about to say, what do you mean 20 plus hours is down the drain? It's like I just got back. What do you mean? Was about to be extremely upset. just me sitting here. What do you mean 30 hours of reading plus down the drain? And I gotta look at the Pachinko sprites. And some of the original ones. Get me out. Mata. The system. Oh god, last time I did load this up was in January. Did the files get fucked with, or is it still good? Did I stop? Hang on, what? Oh yeah, that's where we were. Okay, so no, I am right where I stopped. So last time I remembered this, they were still trying to figure out how the fuck like a lot of the rest of the family was dying. And they basically kicked out the they kicked out the old lady. I'm forgetting names now. I think her name, I forgot if the old lady's name was Kumagawa or Kumasawa. I think it was Kumagawa. They were kicking her out. They kicked Genjo out. And they kicked Maria out. Due to suspicion of them working for the Golden Witch. It's been Kumasawa. Thank you. It's been. I'm kind of shocked. It's been 3.5 months, and I've been able to retain that much. Because usually, when it's been that long, my brain starts forgetting too many details. But that was just the last time I started this up. Just more questioning about how the murders would have been carried out. The sad basement. Oh. I forgot. Last time Kanon fucking died. I genuinely forgot. I forgot he got shanked in the basement and then just died. These fools should have took Battler to the boiler. Wait. Shit, no, he got stabbed in the boiler. I'm an idiot. I'm kind of... brain is again moving at 1,000 miles a minute for some reason. He was stabbed in the fucking boiler room. I remember now, like... Because there was a fucking furnace in there and everything. Like Alex, you typed basement and I was supposed to say, oh yeah, he did get stabbed. No, he didn't. Wait. So let me of course, none of us felt like breathing a sigh of relief. Like, it feels weird because I know I stopped at a glass break, but it feels like I stopped, like, in the middle of a conversation. At least not until we could hear the cry of the seagulls once more. God damn it! I thought I saved on the glass break. I thought... Damn it. Me sitting here. This is weird. I'm pretty sure I saved on the glass break. God damn it. After we chased them out, Nobody wanted to say anything. All of the suspicious ones had been driven away. Oh wait, I was about to read it again. Even though we knew there might be some innocents among them, we still did it. We chased them out of this paradise, where people don't have to suspect each other. But our motive for chasing them out was suspicion of one person towards another, the worst kind of crime for a human. If we had accepted the existence of a 19th person of the... Damn it. Again, it's been nearly 4 months, and brain moving faster than it should. Then we all might still be talking face to face, trusting in each other. In that instant, we had agreed to chase out all of the suspicious people. But had that been the right thing to do? During this endless silence, we could do nothing but be quietly tormented by that Oh no! Streamer forgets he saved 2 lines before a glass break. Aunt Natsui faced the door, without letting go of her rifle for even an instant, sitting far back in the sofa. She would probably spend the night staring at the door without a wink of sleep. Jordaniki gazed through a gap in the closed curtains by the window, looking down at the courtyard and the mansion that surrounded it. I didn't know whether he was checking to see if a suspicious shadow would become visible through the window, or whether he was wondering to himself about something. Jessica was sitting sideways on the sofa next to Aunt Natsui, with a dead expression on her face. And every once in a while, as though she just remembered something, she'd take out the inhaler she used during her asthma attack and stick it in her mouth. I just heard it from Aniki. But apparently Jessica liked Kanon-kun. It was apparently so vague that she hadn't realized it herself. You know, it's the kind of thing other people tend to spot before the person in question realizes it. Which means she might have first learned of her feelings when the person she liked died. Must have been so terrible. So sad. Come to think of it, Kanon-kun was the one who handed her the inhaler. Maybe she was remembering that. I was fishing around Grandfather's study, thinking I'd researched the meaning of the magic circle on the letter's second sheet. Even though we were shut up here in a defensive position, my rebellious nature made me want to find some key, some way to resist. After all, we've got plenty of time before tomorrow morning. Who could fault me for how I used that time? No one else showed that much interest in the magic circle. Its meaning was unknown, and once we understood it, we were sure to find some message that would cause us unnecessary anguish. I felt the same way. However, I couldn't just ignore it, so I killed time by going through the motions of researching it.
熱心だね。何か手がかりになるようなことは見つけられたかい？
さっぱりさ。
Damn it. I forgot I had an alarm. What? Shit. I keep doing things to myself without realizing it, because it's like, oh man, I'll do the thing early. Alarm goes off for doing the thing. Why? I thought I turned it off. It's the worst part. Just to make sure. Just to make sure I'm turning all that sound off.
そもそも日本語で書かれた本を探すことからして骨だぜ。 じいさまは一体何カ国語を読めたってんだ。
Okay, let me lower the game a bit. Why did it go back to Max? Why did it go back to Max? Yeah, because I plugged it. I'm an idiot. Plugged in a different hard drive.
大したもんだぜ。
バトラ君は眠くないの？誰かが起きていてくれてるうちに休んだ方がいいよ。ナスヒおばさんは寝ず番をしてくれると言ってるけど、体が持つわけない。ローテーションで休んだ方がいいよ。
じゃあ兄貴が先に休めよ。俺は眠気が来るまでちょいと調べ物をしてるさ。
さっきの魔法陣？
まあな、どうせ時間は腐るほどあるさ。ベアトリーチェ様がどういうメッセージを込めやがったのか面白そうだと思ってよ。
0 out of 10 IGN, not enough cat. God damn it. Umineko has no cat. We haven't reached that point yet. I lack context for a lot of what happens later on. But it's gonna be a while until we meet the cat character. Or cats in general. At least from the fighting game, I just call her the cat character.
そういうのやってると妙なのに取りつかれちまうぜ。
安心しろよ。俺はマリアにお墨付きをもらってるぜ。俺には霊的才能はからっきしなんだとよ。
マリアのこと邪険にしすぎたかな。
ジェシカ、今はそれを考えてはなりません。
でも母さん、もしもマリアが無関係で犯人が他にいたなら、犯人は襲いやすい相手を狙うに決まってる。それで殺されたなら私たちは見殺しにしたことになるよ。
A gloomy silence settled once again. It looked like Jessica regretted letting her emotions take hold of her and snapping at Maria. She's always been like that. Always acting tough and regretting it later.
気持ちはわかりますが、マリアは犯人と接触し、
What would I do if gold drops and allows me to transfer See, Alex, it's a good question because if gold ever comes out, I'm not gonna lie, the first reaction will be fear because kinda hope they have the guy doing Battler and George's dad re-record literally all their lines, please. Like, Battler's VA wasn't even bad. He just his voice didn't really fully fit. Like, it needs to go at it from, like, a different angle. And I'm not gonna lie, Hideyoshi sounded fucking bad. He just had, I get Southern-ish. Or just, like, country Japanese person, so it's like, oh yeah, give him an accent. Not like that. Not like that. Everyone else was fine. Like, if gold is still, like, a thing, if it allows it, then probably, but all I know is that if I gotta deal with more of what I saw in that trailer from Battler and Hideyoshi, I'ma just get gold and then leave it subbed. I'm a be real. Which is a painful thing to say because, like, okay, I'm not really I don't really hate dubs. I actually do like them a lot. Butler sounded like a normal dude. Normal dude out the street. You're not even fully wrong. Well, like for me, like I never hate dubs. I've always been like an appreciator of both dub and sub a lot of the time. Sometimes I like one more than the other, which didn't really need to be said, but it's usually just a case by case basis with me. Like most of that dub cast was pretty solid in performance from the trailer alone. It was just Battler and Hideyoshi where I was like, no, nah, those need work. Y'all need to work with those a lot more and change them. But otherwise, and I'm convinced some human out there that likes the dub of Go and So Too will shoot me for this. And Funimation, why couldn't you get these voice casters? They did a much better job, high key. They only fucked up twice. Meanwhile, I swear to God, in the first couple episodes of the dub of Go, I swear they call Rena Vena, and I'm going insane. Like, that's not a joke. Like, I swear to God, I heard niggas say Vena, and I was like, When did her name start with a W? And she became European. Like, I was confused. Like, again, maybe my ears suck. That's also a possibility. Vena who? No, I was talking about the dub for Higurashi Go and So Too. Like, at some point, I swear to God, every time they refer to Rena, they'd go Vena. Like, there'd be a weird other letter at the start of her name for some reason. It's like, but it's R-E-N-A. That's an easy name to say. How'd you get that from there? Better than that would be the 4Kids version of her name. Damn it. Let me keep fucking going before I talk about this for 50 years.
肩を持つように煙に巻く発言を繰り返しています。私はこの部屋から追い出せて清々しています。
Swap the L and fucking like Alex. The funniest thing is you saying that and me realizing that's a 4Kids ass thing to do, because it happened to fucking Ren and Shaman King, and oddly enough, the guy who's supposed to be Zolo, you're right. That too, and then there was fucking, even though it wasn't a 4Kids thing, it aired on the same channel, like Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. Like, the dude who was supposed to be the American, well, at least the stand-in for Ren for their version of it, was named Len, and I sat there like, this is just a consistent thing. Apparently no Westerner is named Ren. Like, there are no white people in America named Ren, apparently. They translate names accurately as if they were English words, so they didn't keep the... Oh. Huh.
夏日おばさんって結構きついっすね。9歳の女の子のザレ言かもしれないじゃないっすか。
There are no white people in Bossing Say. Oh god. Hey, Otter. Oh yeah, I knew that. Similar to B and V. Or at least I think B and V for them is also really similar. Probably wasn't very convincing to hear that coming from me. I myself thought Maria was creepy on several occasions, even doubting her true nature. And when Maria was chased out of this room, I couldn't deny I felt some relief.
もしそうだったなら、明日謝罪します。彼らをこの部屋から追い出したのは全て私の責任です。だからあなたたちが気に病むことはないのです。
I could feel a tragic determination in Natsue's words. To protect her own daughter, she had resolutely... I did read it right. Okay. Chased out the suspicious ones. And if, as a result, she had to watch people who had unfortunately been suspected die, so be it. She was prepared to take full responsibility.
なんでマリアってあんなことばかり言うんだよ。自分で自分の首を絞めてるぜ。
もともとマリアちゃんが魔女や魔法に傾倒するようになったのは、僕はローザおばさんのせいじゃないかと思ってる。
ローザおばさんのせい？何がどう関係してるってんだよ。
バドラ君だって気づいてるんじゃないかい。マリアちゃんの本当の父親はずいぶん昔に蒸発してるんだ。おばさんはそれを海外出張とか言ってごまかしているけどね。
後宮家ではローザさんたちに関わる話はタブーとされているところがあります。
おばさんは再婚だって考えたと思うよ。
Somebody needs to... Alex, don't do that to me in any Please don't. No, I have to kill somebody at that point. Like, I'm not ready for Ushilo Mia George. Nah. I'm not reading the lines of a nigga named George.
でもマリアちゃんの存在が枷になって。
To be fair, I'm reading the lines of a nigga named Battler. That's not much. Battler. Honestly, the closest thing that would sound like an actual name. Yeah, Kraus would just be Klaus. That's normal. That's still pretty normal. Maria would become Malia, which is a bit weird, but it's still like a feasible name. I can see a Malia existing.
だっておばさんは時折ものすごく感情的にマリアちゃんに当たっていたから。
Oh yeah, I forgot. I kinda high-key really did forget about that moment.
それについては同感だぜ。ローザおばさんはマリアを好きになろうと努力してるように見えた。ってことはつまり好きじゃないってことなんだよな。再婚の妨げになっているマリアに思うところがあったんだろうよ。
母親の感情的な拒絶がきっと彼女の幼い心に深い傷を残したと思うんだ。そしてどこかでオカルト趣味と出会い、心の隙間を埋めるように没頭していく。
You know, that actually really does explain away the dead reaction she had when it's like, oh, mom gone? That's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a feeling that's what it was. But it's just one of those when you actually hear it said, it's like, yeah.
知ってるかい？マリアちゃんにとって魔女のイメージは決してネガティブなものじゃないんだよ。ほら、昨日海岸でマリアちゃんのノートを見せてもらわなかったかい？
ああ、なんだか楽しそうな落書きでいっぱいだったぜ。
Yep. Yesterday when we were down by the beach, doubting the witch, Maria got all riled up and started explaining about witches. And not one of the pages had shown a picture of an ugly witch. They were all brightly colored, beautiful, cute witches who looked like they were having fun. There was absolutely nothing sinister about them, like a boy might have imagined. There were beings adorned with beautiful dresses who could grant anyone's dreams with their mysterious magic and who made everyone happy. The sorrow of not being loved by her mother, and Maria sought the help from witches as beings who could give her happiness and save her? Someday, a witch would come, and using her wonderful magic, would bring Maria happiness. Even though she believed that, as she grew older, she had to face reality as her fleeting dreams were sliced to ribbons one by one. If something claiming to be the Witch of Rokenjima appeared in front of a girl like that, whispering that she'd take Maria to the Golden Land where Maria could be happy,
僕は今頃になって胸中を告白するよ。マリアちゃんを、いや、源氏さんたちを追い出したのは
His name was Genji. Shit.
多分いけないことだったんじゃないかな。
My dumb ass called him Genjo.
気まずくはあるぜ。
Since Jessica had been the one to face them and slam them with words of rejection, her conscience must be tormenting her a lot right now. I did not even open the... Oh, okay.
なら皆さんはあの手紙をどう説明するのですか？私の後ろにいた4人以外の誰にも置くことはできなかった。
Or, if you've considered the fact that there are two sets of murders that have happened where there's no feasible way people could have gotten in, or just otherworldly shit, consider the witch may be real. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think the past 3 streams of this have been me going, okay, but listen.
それは私がこの目ではっきり確認しています。
What if the witch is real?
あの4人が潔白だというなら、どうやってこの密室の8人もの人間がいる中で手紙を置けたというのですか？
そうなんだよ。その話が始まっちまうと、確かに4人は怪しいってことになっちまう。だが全然ダメなんだ。ああ、全然ダメだぜ。
ダメって何がだい？
Do they all have stupid? Of course the rich is exactly.
ああ、もう今さら何の役にも立たないかもしれねえが、またチェス盤をひっくり返させてくれ。
My brother in Christ, you've done that for the whole chapter. It hasn't worked.
つまりあの4人が本当に犯人だってんならよ、おかしいんだよ。
Why does it keep opening the... Oh, it's because I'm tapping the... Oh, okay. Let's get my hand further away from the mouse pad.
そうだぜ。あんなテーブルの上に堂々と置いたら、この中に犯人がいますよと告白するようなもんじゃねえか。そうだよ、おかしい。やるなら例えば扉の隙間に置いて廊下側から差し込まれたように見せかけるとか。そうだよ、部屋の外に犯人がいるように見せかけなきゃ自分が疑われてしまうことが分かってたはず。
ああ、そういうことなんだ。あの4人の中に犯人がいたとして、テーブルのど真ん中に手紙をポンと置くことはリスクばかりで何の意味もないんだ。だがどうやってそこに手紙を置いたかのトリックは置いといて、あの4人以外の誰か、すなわちこの部屋の外に犯人がいたと仮定したとき、あの手紙には大きな意味が生まれる。
よしなさいバトラ君。今さら些細な問題です。
Natsui quickly guessed what I was getting at. No, maybe she had thought of it long before I had and had simply held her tongue. Damn it, I didn't even touch the mouse pad that time.
この部屋の外に犯人がいて、俺たちが外からは手出しをできない密室に立てこもっちまったらお手上げだ。ああ、そうだよ。この部屋からじいさまがいなくなったって話の時、俺が披露した説じゃねえか。じいさまが自分から出ていくという説。自分から出ていくような何かの細工を犯人がしてまんまと外へおびき出していたのだとしたら、
Come to think of it, when we found the scorpion magic circle on the doorknob to the study, Maria said it herself. Beatrice couldn't get through this door, but she could induce someone to leave of their own accord.
だとすると、私たちは犯人の罠に見事はまって、新しい生贄候補を送り出しちまったことになるぜ。
源氏たちもバカではありません。
Genji and the rest aren't fools. See, the biggest issue here is that they have a child with them.
身を守ろうと思うなら、この部屋の次に安全な場所をすぐに思いつくでしょう。
Okay. But considering the killer got into a room with literally no escape route, they have a child with that's not gonna matter.
身を潜めています。
Like, regardless if magic or not, somehow, if it's not, if someone was badass enough to get into a room with no escape routes and leave no trace of them being there outside of the dead bodies, that's power. You can't fight that. You can't dispute that. You lose. Honestly, Alex, yeah, Maria's more than likely gonna get him killed. Fall through, vanish, Beatrice clearly exists. Watch them still go, but nah, though. It's gotta be a guy killing people out there, bro. The witch is real, I swear to God. I just saw her 2 minutes ago. Listen. Natsui hadn't answered the question. Natsui herself had realized that if the culprit wasn't in our group back then, that letter would make sense as a trap. However, it wasn't worth the risk of calling back the people she had once thrown out. To Aunt Natsui right now, her greatest and only duty was to protect the children. By her thinking, in order to do that, a few sacrifices were unavoidable.
なあ、夏日おばさん。
Like to blame Genji for his death as well as me. Yeah.
きついこと聞くぜ。
It's gonna be fucked up if they both end up, if Kumasawa and Maria end up dead and Genji's alive. I'm gonna be fucking mad. I'm gonna be fucking
もしあ
mad.
の時、たまたまジェシカもおばさんの後ろにいたなら。
Because they're gonna look at Genji like, it was you! That or if Kumasawa was like the only one left, I'm gonna be mad.
おばさんはこの部屋からジェシカも追い出してたかい？
Am I not tabbed into the what? Huh?
確かに残酷なところはあったかもしれない。でも夏日おばさんは母として娘を守りきろうと思った。その責務から自分がやがては糾弾されることを覚悟で彼らを追放したんだ。俺は別にそれを責めてえわけじゃねえ。ただそのジェシカはいいお袋を持ったなって そう思ったのさ。
そうだね。
Oh, so Alex, thank you for clarifying that. I thought you were typing that for a different reason. I was about to say, now's not the time. Back in my head really said, now's not the time. And it's not the time at all.
夏日おばさんは朝からずっと続いているこんな事件の中でも冷静さを失わず、ずっとみんなを牽引してきてくれた。もしおばさんまで混乱していたら、僕たちは今頃全員犯人の手にかかっていたかもしれない。
I forget, like in game it's been like 2 days.
だから僕たちはおばさんに感謝しなくちゃいけないと思う。
ありがと
バトラたちの言いたいことは、つまりマリアの母でもあってほしいって。私マリアのことを実の妹みたいだとずっと思って可愛がってきた。なのにいろんなことがあってちょっと混乱しちゃって、ひどいことをたくさん言って傷つけてしまった。母さん、お願いだよ。マリアもみんなも一緒にいようよ。私たちの中に犯人なんていなかったんだよ。この事件の犯人は魔女のベアトリーチェでいいじゃないか。だからもう疑い合うのはやめようよ。
Natsui closed her eyes for a short while. Was she coping with her throbbing headache again, or was she thinking of something?
ジェシカは主人と結婚してから12年もかけてようやく授かった大切な娘です。私はジェシカを守るためならどのような鬼にでもなります。
That was some pretty strong language at the end there. She realized very well that her words were an idealized view of what a mother should be. But even so, she was strongly resolved to protect her daughter, even if she had to become a demon. Family is clearly biased, considering Maria knows everything. She's the most logical pick, yet they don't fish chat. Yeah. Then again, it's kind of humans in general. Just, oh yeah, the child has the secret. Who would listen to that? Oh, I'm dying. Damn. But that was her guilty conscience tormenting her. Today's been so long. So many things happened in one day, and we've been driven into the corner so thoroughly. I wonder if we have the right to greet tomorrow the way we are now. There it is.
見つけた。
この魔法陣だ。
Inside the book I'd been flipping through, I found the same magic circle that had been drawn on the second sheet of the letter. Giordanic peered at it as well. This magic circle's name was the Third Magic Circle of Mars. The Hebrew written on it was from Psalm 77, verse 13 of the Old Testament. What God is so great as our God? The meaning of this magic circle was discord. Agitate internal divisions and cause the enemy to bring about their own downfall. Never gas like a girl and lose all your breath. This happened random with strange. Yeah.
Oi, oi. マジかよ。
Could there be a more fitting way to describe our current situation and mental state? We couldn't help but be stunned into silence.
じゃあこの手紙は罠だってのかよ。どうやってここに置いたんだよ。この部屋には私たち8人以外には誰もいなかったんだぜ。
とにかくどうやってここに置いたのか、その方法は捨ておくぜ。
They leave the letter on the table, they open it again, the text just magically morphs into the words hold that.
とにかく犯人の狙いはたった一つ。
You walked into the command grab and you have to hold that.
この鉄壁の書斎に疑心暗鬼を引き起こして生贄の羊を俺たちの手で外へ放り出させることだったんだ。
だとしたら狙いは外へ出された人たちだ。
母さん、どうしよう。あの4人が危ない。
It wasn't surprising that Aunt Natsui remained unpleasantly silent. Even if this was a trap by the culprit, even if the four who had been chased out of the room were in danger, it had nothing to do with the safety of the four people in here, and there was no way to prove the innocence of the four people we'd chased out. If we're willing to let them die, then we shouldn't leave this room no matter what. That way is safest. At that time, suddenly the piercing sound of a phone rang through the room. It was the antique extension phone set on the table in Grandfather's study. It had rung right after we started talking about a letter being the trap. It was natural we'd think of it as an SOS from the ones we'd chased out. But then Aunt Natsui spoke.
どうして電話が。
I'm not gonna lie. I just think it's funny she pulled out the gun on a fucking phone. Like, I get it. I understand the situation they're in. But at the same time, the fact that she heard the phone and then pulled the gun up. Also, she's right too. Never mind. I forgot the phones were all broken.
そんなことは関係ねえさ。もしマリアたちが助けを求める電話だったら。
Shoots the phone for no reason. I shouldn't be laughing. It was just the immediate sprite of. Just.
そもそも電話の普通が犯人の工作によるものならば、この電話
I just blast a hole in the wall and hits someone. It somehow hits the culprit. Ow. Just somehow hits Beatrice. Shit, you got me. You're gonna pay for that later. With that one sentence, the ring of the phone, which had once sounded like a scream for help, now started to sound like a ghastly lure from some unknown person. Natsui hesitated over whether to pick up the receiver.
トロおばさん。
Oh god. So let me lower my... Also, sorry if you can hear neighbors blasting the fuck out of their car stereo for some ungodly reason. This happens a lot. It is actually part of the reason I don't stream as much, because this happens so much. Like, to a ridiculous degree.
何かの理由で電話が回復したのかも。マリアちゃんたちからの緊急の電話の可能性もある。
Okay, you don't hear it. That's good. Because for me, consistently... Wait. Like, I shit you not. Like, even on... Like, it used to not even come through my mic on fucking Discord calls. Now it does. It does a lot.
Soだぜ。それに万一犯人からの電話だったら上等さ。話を聞いてやろうじゃねえか。それにどうせ電話だ。受話器越しに何をほざいたって痛くも痒くもないぜ。
This is gonna hurt. I'm gonna laugh if it kills somebody. I'm gonna die if it kills somebody.
俺が取るぜ。
私が取ります。
Just Natsui picks up the phone. It just explodes. I stretched out my hand to take the receiver, but Aunt Natsui grabbed it before I could reach. We all held our breath, trying to figure out who the person on the other end of the phone was. But for a while, Aunt Natsui kept saying hello. A silent phone call? There's no way Maria and the others would do something so creepy. Which means, could this phone call possibly really be... Natsui stopped repeating hello and strained her ears, because she thought she heard something far away on the other end of the receiver. What was that?
Uta? 歌って何ですか、おばさん。
わかりません。電話の向こうでかすかに誰かが歌っているのが聞こえます。
Natsui's that swear ghost. Just curses out the culprit. Just Beatrice on the other end of the phone. Damn, bitch, it's like that.
何のことやら。
Understandable, but man.
ちょっと受話器を借りますぜ。もしもし。
I half forced the receiver from the stunned Aunt Natsui's hand and pressed it against my ear. At first, I didn't hear anything. But because I'd been told about it beforehand, I noticed. It sounded far away from the receiver, rather than someone speaking in a quiet voice. And it sounded like a girl singing a song. That voice did sound like Maria's, but that just made the brain skip the line. Made the situation even more inexplicable. At the very least, the one who had made the phone call hadn't been Maria. After all, Maria was singing some song far away from the receiver. In that case, the one who made the phone call should have been Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, or Dr. I forgot about Dr. Nanjo. Shit. That's why I fucked up his name. Nanjo and Genji. Called him Genjo. Damn it. They fused. And yet they weren't saying anything. What? They're dead. For what reason? The person who made this phone call, who was it?
おい、もしもし。誰だ、返事をしろ。歌ってるのはマリアなのか。返事をしてくれ。
何が起こってんだよ。どういうことだ。
わからねえ。一つ言えることは、多分これは罠で、そしてマリアが危険だってことだけだ。
Aunt Natsui took the receiver again, but after yelling into it several more times, she realized that she wasn't getting anywhere and hung up. After that, she dialed quickly. Then she clicked her tongue. That's right. If the phones are working, we should be able to reach the police. But judging by Aunt Natsui's reaction, the outside telephone line still didn't connect.
行こう。罠かもしれないことは分かってても行かないわけにはいかない。
ああ、まったくだぜ。ジェシカと夏井おばさんはここにいてくれ。
When Aniki and I tried to dash out, Aunt Natsui stopped us.
お待ちなさい。あなたたちだけに行かせるわけにはいきません。
This fucking dipshit doesn't know how to cast a goddamn potion. Hey, Mitsuru.
私も行きます。ジェシカはここで待ちなさい。
私だけのけ者かよ。冗談じゃない。私も行くぜ。
そうだな。その方がいいかもしれねえぜ。電話が俺たちをさらに分散させる狙いがあるってんなら、留守番を残すのは適当じゃね
議論する暇も惜しい。みんなで行こう。
Caught a moment of reprieve work, thought as soon as I see her throat's holding out with all the reading. I mean, it's been fine. There's kind of a reason I've actually streamed sessions of this in months instead of back to back. Not even because of my throat. It's honestly just because I can only take one section of the game at a time every once in a while. Like, I'm still enjoying it. It's just, it's definitely this will take me way longer than I initially thought. Natsuri raised the rifle high and took the lead. I couldn't go unarmed myself. I found a 3-pronged candle stand and readied it. All of the pins on it used to fit candles were short. It was almost like a 3-pronged spear. Then, the 4 of us left the study. We left the study, which should have been the safest place inside the mansion. By doing this, we had been lured out, even though we had barricaded ourselves in a safe, closed room. Perhaps we were doing exactly the same thing Grandfather had done when he disappeared from that room.
Maria! どこにいるんだよ! 返事をしろ!
I listened closely, but didn't hear anything. The mansion was vast, and since the passing typhoon was making its last stand, the sound of the train was... The rain was even noisier than before.
マリアちゃんは確か客までテレビを見たいと言ってたよね。階下に降りてみよ
う。そうですね。行ってみましょう。みんなは周りに用心して。
Trains in my Vishoma. With Aunt Natsui in the center, her rifle readied and her finger on the trigger. We moved in a group, our backs together, checking our surroundings in all directions. It was just as though the magic of that magic circle designed to spread discord had worked. We had split up, and furthermore, had been dragged out into dangerous territory. In other words, even now, we were doing just what the culprit wanted us to do. This was a separate world where it wouldn't be odd for anything to suddenly occur. Aunt Natsui nervously pointed the barrel of the gun at every dark spot and shadow. It felt like that motion was out of fear rather than caution. But the rifle she held in her hand should have been a trump card that the culprit feared.
僕はずっと思ってたんだ。カノン君のように胸にあのアイスピックを突き刺すことは不可能ではないと思う。でも母さんたちのように頭蓋骨を打ち抜いて眉間に突き立てるなんて簡単なことじゃないと思うんだ。
犯人はそれだけバカ力ってことか。
多分あのアイスピックを飛ばす、あるいは打ち込む射出機のような武器があるんだよ。人力だけであれだけ深々と刺突するにはあの絵は短すぎる。
いずれにせよ頭蓋骨を打ち抜くほどに強力です。カノンの傷も肺にまで届いていたそうです。
That's how deep the stab wound was. Jesus.
もし相手の姿を見ても決して前に出ないように。私の後ろから出てはいけませんよ。
Just how sinister and frightening was the weapon that could shoot those creepy ice picks? And could I do anything to combat it with just this candle stand in my hand? In the first murder, the culprit probably assaulted all four of our parents at once, as they discussed the inheritance problem in the dining hall. Quick, get the ice pick, Gat! God. Oh no! Just, what are you doing walking around in 1986 without your ice pick, Gat? Couldn't be me. And there were four of us here now. Apparently I wasn't the only person thinking this. George Aniki, Jessica, and of course Aunt Natsui were stretching their senses to the utmost limit, in the highest and worst state of tension, slowly advancing one step, then another. Ah, what have we done? Because of the seeds of doubt spread by that one letter, we threw Maria and the rest into the middle of this terrifying world. We finally reached the first floor. The parlor was just across the hall. When we listened carefully, we could hear it faintly. Maria's eerie singing voice. She wasn't singing naturally, as though she were in a good mood. She was singing mechanically, like she was at a graduation ceremony and had been ordered to. The song she sang was just a common folk song, one that everyone had probably sung in school at one point or another. But why that, in the middle of the night, alone, with all her heart, over and over? Why? I'm pressing the button faster than I'm reading now, damn it. Right after leaving the study, we had called out in loud voices asking where she was. But this time, no one said even a single word. We hid our breath in the sound of our footsteps, and intensely focused on our surroundings, to the point of being completely high-strung. We stepped forward. The door to the parlor was closed, but we could hear Maria's singing voice through it. Aunt Natsui put her hand on the handle of the doorknob when George Aniki stopped her.
扉は僕が開ける。夏日おばさんとバトラ君は武器を構えてて。
わかりました。気をつけて。
開けると同時に攻撃してくるかもしれないぜ。
Prepared to shoot them if need be.
ジョージ兄さん、注意して。
じゃあ 行くよ。
He tried to open it, but immediately felt the hard resistance of the lock. Aunt Natsui took the bundle of keys from her pocket and gave them to George. There were about 10 keys, and none of us had any clue which was which. Because of this, George had to fumble around loudly and test several of the keys. Since we had hidden our footsteps, preparing to make a surprise attack on the room, this felt almost fatal. The whole time we could hear Maria's voice from the parlor, singing the same song over and over. It was like a broken, crazy cassette tape. We'd been in that room almost constantly since morning. All the frightening things had occurred outside that room. That had left us with the impression that only this room was safe. That baseless impression was quickly falling apart.
開いた。
I'm waiting for Wake Up DP with a knife.
ジョージ君とジェシカは後ろに下がって。
I'm waiting for someone to get Wake Up DP to death.
おばさん、一気に飛び込んで左右に分かれよう。扉を開けてボサッとしたら例のアイスピックがど真ん中に飛んでくるかもしれねえぜ。
承知しています。
Natsui gets DP to neutral. God.
いいですか？
That'd be the foulest shit. Everyone just opens the door. What the fuck? Shit, God, I can't do that. She lost to a child. I forgot I can't do bits where I hit the back of my hand anymore because my that hurt. Like the back of my middle finger on my right hand got burned. I can't do bits where I hit the back of my hand anymore. I need to stop. Oh, that was awful. I readied myself. If they're gonna be throwing ice picks, I'll whack them with this candle stand.
行きます。
Natsui and I rammed into the door before flying into the parlor. Quickly splitting up left and right and searching the parlor for someone who might be waiting for us. But what our eyes landed upon was an incredibly strange sight. The parlor was stained with blood. This place where we spent almost the entire day, where we pressed in together to protect ourselves from some unknown menace, had been stained with fresh blood, had become an ocean of blood. On the floor lay Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Dr. Nanjo, their entire bodies stained bright red with the blood. But the only way we could identify them was by their clothes. That was because... that's right. This is how the whole tragedy started. Their faces, just like our smashed up parents in the shed, you couldn't tell where their eyes stopped and their noses began. It was as though they'd rudely plunged their faces into tomato pot pies, all squished up. I'm not imitating screams. I'll leave the actual voice clips to do the screams. And that wasn't all. Their bodies had other wounds. It was those demon ice picks. They were in Genji-san's stomach, Dr. Nanjo's thigh, no, his knee? That's right, of course it's his knee. And the epitaph, the sixth twilight of the stomach, and the seventh twilight was the knee was gouged. So after seeing one of them stuck near Kumasawa Bachan's calf, I couldn't help but masochistically laughing. Ah, that's right. On the 6th twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill. Now even the 8th twilight is over. The next one, the 9th twilight, what was it again? Maria was there. I'm waiting for that full screen shot again where it's that ugly ass smile. I'm waiting. She was facing the wall in the inner part of the room, standing stock still, completely alone. She faced away from the horrible scene, standing by the wall, singing her song over and over. There was nothing else in the room. Just the corpses of the 3 who had been brutally killed, and the phone receiver, which was still off of its hook, proving that this was the room the call had come from. Just that and Maria, her back to the scene as she kept on singing while facing the wall. We couldn't even scream at this bizarre scene. We could only stare shocked, with our mouths hanging loosely open. Jessica called out to her, but Maria showed no reaction. Alone, she kept singing on and on. We had come here trying to save Maria from some approaching danger. So now that we've found her, we should have been running up to Maria, hugging her, joyous that she was safe. And yet, not one of us could do that. Everyone thought it, but they couldn't say it. After all, because that's right. Even if it's that crazy, no, it couldn't be.
Maria! 歌うのやめろ! 聞いてるのか?
At some point, Natsui and I had pointed our weapons at Maria's back. I yelled at Maria in a violent voice, but there was no reaction. She just kept singing. With the candle stand still readied, I ran up to her and violently slammed my hand down on her shoulder. Then I pulled on her shoulder, forcing her to turn around. We were waiting for it. Maria's small body was quickly pulled down and fell. As though unhappy at having her singing interrupted, Maria looked into my face with her usual expression. Even in this gruesome situation, she was just like normal.
Maria! これはどういうことなんだ? 誰がやった?
High-key, I was expecting her face to become hyper fucked up like that one CG again. I was ready for it.
いい加減にしろ!
Through the candle stand I'd been holding against the wall. The violence of that reckless sound should have gone straight into Maria's heart. But Maria's expression didn't change at all.
よすんだバトラ君。マリアちゃん、今度こそ君は3人を殺す犯人の顔を見たはずだよ。犯人は君に手紙を渡したというベアトリーチェなのかい？
おお、ベアトリーチェ。
ああ、ならこれで確定したぜ。19人目はいるんだよ。ベアトリーチェは実在するんだ。じゃあマリア、これくらいは教えてくれるよな。奴はこの3人をどうやって殺したんだ？何をどうやったらあんなむごい殺し方ができるんだ？
知らない。
I know who did it. I'm be real with you, Chief. I don't know.
知らねえってことはねえだろ。
Nigga, you saw it. I don't sell out the homie like that.
この部屋での出来事だぞ。歌を歌うのに夢中で気づかなかったとか言い出すんじゃねえだろうな。
落ち着いてバトラ君。マリアちゃん、僕とお話ししようね。
George on a key, as he always did, crouched down next to Maria so that their eyes met, and talked to her very kindly.
マリアちゃんはどうして壁を向いてお歌を歌っていたのかな。
うん。ベアトリーチェがここでね、壁を向いてお歌をずっと歌っていなさいって言ったの。
じゃあベアトリーチェがここへやってきたんだね。その時にはまだ源氏さんたちは生きていたんだよね。
You throw her out the window and let her walk out into the ocean. Lord. But at least she's not doing the smug as shit face this time.
みんなで客間に来て座ってた。源氏さんはちゃんと鍵をかけてたよ。
確かに鍵はかかってたが、じゃあどうやってベアトリーチェは客間に入ってきたってんだよ。
おお。でもベアトリーチェは魔女だから鍵なんか関係ない。蝶々になって扉の隙間から通り抜けてきたんだよ。
はあ、冗談も休み休み言いやがる。そんなわけねえだろ。お前は何を言ってやがるんだ。
There it is. I was about to say, you know, she hasn't pulled that face in a good minute. There it is.
信じられないよね。だから言いたくなかった。どうせ言っても信じないもん。でもベアトリーチェは魔女なの。
But I'll keep saying it because it's true.
不思議な魔法で何でもできるの。だからベアトリーチェは鍵のかかった扉なんか全然関係ないんだよ。
それで現れたベアトリーチェは、そしてみんなはどうしたの。
ベアトリーチェは言ったよ。おじいさまの書斎は強力な力に守られていてどうしても入れない。だからあと3人の生贄はこの客間の4人の中から選ぶって。みんな嫌だって言ったよ。
Son of a Beatrich. God.
熊沢さんは嫌だ嫌だってすごい言ってた。でもベアトリー、そしたらね、ベアトリーチェはマリアはいいよって言ってくれたの。どうしてだと思う？バトラがマリアの安全を祈って念を込めてくれたあの火星の5の魔法陣のサソリのお守りがあったからだよ。だからその力でベアトリーチェは私にだけは何もできなかった。
Wow, she really just escaped out of.
だから生贄はマリアじゃない3人に決まったの。そしたらね、ベアトリーチェはね、言ったの。
You know, this is the first time in a while I could say being a good person backfired hyper hard.
さあさあ、壁に向かってお歌を歌って聞かせなさい。あなたはたくさんたくさんお歌を歌うから、何が起こっても何が聞こえても聞こえない聞こえないわからない。さあさあ、楽しいお歌をわらわにたくさん聞かせておくれ。
だからマリアはずっとお歌を歌ってた。ずっとずっと歌ってたんだよ。だから何も聞こえない、わからない。そしたらバトラたちがやってきたんだよ。
それを信じろってのか。バカにするんじゃねえぜ。
Bro, at this point, you're actively stupid. She's making fun of you because she's right. Like, bro.
じゃあ今度は誰を疑う？マリアを疑う？マリアをこの場で殺してみる？ そんなことしてもベアトリーチェはこれで第8の番は終わったよ。ベアトリーチェは蘇る。
My brother in Christ! It isn't possible at this point. Like, it's the only other option, my guy.
ふざけんな。もうそんな話は金輪際ごめんだぜ。魔女なんているもんか。煙に巻かれてたまるか。
Bro.
俺は認めねえぞ。ベアトリーチェなんていいね。
She about to walk up and shank you. She's gonna walk up and shank you, and then it's like, damn, I guess she was real.
だから存在なんかさせねえ。蘇りもさせねえ。伝説は永遠に伝説のままだ。この俺がそんなことを認めねえ。
よせよバトラ。マリアが殺したわけでも見殺しにしたわけでもない。ベアトリーチェが来てマリアは抵抗できず。
あれ
I keep fast forwarding, like I'm genuinely sucked in again.
夏日おばさん。おばさんがいない。
The fuck?
あれ
Wait a minute. Beatrice will revive. Oh, she's hopping in between bodies.
母さん。
Because Natsui has had no reason to leave the room unless she's in another part of the room grieving. But that wouldn't make sense. Because after the 8th, I literally just read it. How did I forget? After the 8th sacrifice, Beatrice will be revived. And she probably can't do that without a host body. Yeah.
さっき手紙を読みながら一人で出て行ったよ。
Oh. A letter? That makes sense. The culprit must be so exhilarated now that we've reached the 8th twilight. They might have left a letter so that they could brag even more. We were so wrapped up in questioning Maria that we forgot to look for a letter. But even as well-armed as she was, why had she left the room by herself in this dangerous mansion after reading it? Jessica tried to chase after her and tugged the handle of the door, but it strangely resisted and wouldn't open.
母さん。お母さん。何これ。開けて。開けて。
It was only natural. Natsui had picked up the candle stand, which Battler had thrown against the wall, and which had fallen to the floor. She had then skillfully wedged it between the doorknobs and the double doors like a bolt holding them closed. The intricate design of the candle stand caused it to get caught solidly, and it really did make a sturdy seal on the door. So she locked the... Okay, so never mind. She locked them in to try and kill the culprit. Oh, she's gone. She's hyper gone. The tragic scream of a daughter for her mother. Did it reach Natsui's ears or not? Natsui's figure was alone in the entrance hall. It was the place decorated by the portrait of Beatrice. Natsui threw down Beatrice's last letter, the one she had read in the parlor. She righted her rifle again, and in a voice that rang clear, yelled in the massive space that was the entrance hall.
後宮家代表後宮夏日です。姿を見せなさい。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。
The entrance hall was dimly lit, other than a faint light which shone on the center of the room. Everything was blotted out by jet black darkness. In that darkness, butterflies glittering in gold squirmed, twinkled, and sneered. Natsui gave one more huge gulp and pointed the cold barrel of the gun at the gold butterflies.
ようやく姿を現しましたね。あなたのような存在は本当に存在したのだって私が未だ信じることができない。でもそれは問題ではありません。後宮家の代表であると自負する私と後宮家の当主を引き継いだと自称するあなたが今この場にいる。あなたが本当に魔女なのかどうかは今となっては些細な問題です。さあ決着をつけましょう。
She's gonna get DP by Beatrice. You're right. Beatrice is in the fighting game and Natsui wasn't. This is a clear disadvantage. That and magic.
後宮家を真に引き継ぐ者はどちらか。
But the first one is more real. It can happen.
この後宮夏日かあなたベアトリーチェかあなたの決闘の申し出謹んでお引き受けさせていただきます。
The gold butterflies slowly formed a human shape, which walked into the dim light. Natsui readied the rifle and glared. The witch raised her golden staff overhead and laughed. Natsui's finger slowly squeezed the trigger. Battler made an all-out dash at the door and rammed into it, crushing the candle stand that had been barring it and making it possible for a big gap to be opened in the door. He kept kicking the candle stand through that gap, and the door was finally released. At that time, they heard it. They certainly heard the crisp sound of gunfire ring out once.
Jessica-chan! 一人で先走っちゃいけない!
今のは銃声だぜ。夏代おばさんが撃ったんだ。
At whom? At the culprit! The noise had come from the entrance hall, and the entrance hall looked like a stage. Like the heroine of a tragedy, on the ground and bathed in light. Arrayed in the beauty of that silence, Natsui lay face up, crumpled on the floor. Half crazed, Jessica ran up to Natsui. On Natsui's forehead, it was almost as though a sparkling shard of pigeon blood ruby was placed there. Feels like we're just it honestly feels, it doesn't feel eerie, it doesn't even really feel fully tense, it just feels like you're right, it just feels like vibing. And from it, one stream of blood makeup passed by her eye. It began to traverse her face. The faint smell of gunpowder smoke came from the barrel of the rifle Natsui still grasped. Huh? Then she shot herself in the forehead? Why?
どうしておばさんは一人で抜け出してどうして自分の額を撃ち抜いているんだよ。
マリアちゃん、夏日おばさんは手紙を読んでから部屋を出たんだよね。手紙がない。くそ、おばさんは何を読んでどうしてここに誘い出されたんだ。
知らねえぜそんなことはどうでもいいぜ。なんなんだよ、どうして自殺なんだよ。なんで私を置いてくんだよ。
Jessica clung to her mother's corpse, crying earnestly. My body was consumed with an anger I didn't know what to do with. I snatched the rifle from Natsui's hand. I spun around, pointing the barrel of the gun into the darkness on all sides, as though I was pointing at a light from a lighthouse, trying to find the culprit. George Umineko, even in this situation, was trying to calmly figure something out, but that might have been a fruitless effort. And only Maria was completely indifferent. So is this all just supposed to be some kind of predetermined fate? No, that's not it. This is all a prelude to a wonderful world. The door to the Golden Land will finally open.
第9の晩に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。そして第10の晩に旅は終わり、黄金の里へ至るだろう。これで全部終わったね、ベアトリーチェ。おめでとう、おめでとう。だからマリアを導いて、あなたの話してくれた黄金鏡へ。今こそ。
There, all of the dead will be revived, and even lost love will be restored. So in Maria's eyes, it's just as though all of today's tragedies didn't happen. It's as though all of the time she spent deprived of love never happened.
いい加減にしやがれ。何が楽しい、何がおめでたい。この島には18人いた。14人死んだ。残りは俺たち4人だ。俺は絶対に死なねえぞ。夜が明けるまで、いや台風が過ぎ去ってまた船着き場に海猫たちが帰ってくるまで俺は絶対に死なねえんだよ。生き残ってやる、生き残ってやる、絶対。
よしなよバトラー。ベアトリーチェに銃なんて意味ないよ。それに生き残るも何ももうおしまいなんだよ。もう旅は終わったんだよ。ほら時計を見てごらん。
Huh? The clock? Hearing those words, I looked at my wristwatch. Both needles were almost touching near the top. Very soon, it'll be 12 at night. In other words, 24 hours. But to think about it, isn't 2400 a strange time? It can be called 2400, but it can also just be called 0. It's the hour at the culmination of the previous day, and at the same time, it's hour 0 as the next day begins. Maria suddenly called out happily and ran towards the darkness. It was almost as though Beatrice was somewhere in the darkness and Maria was running up to her. As Jessica hugged her mother's corpse, as George Umineko stood there confused, I looked down at the barrel of a rifle, gazing into the darkness. The space in front of Beatrice's portrait lay in that direction, and the thing Maria was running up to was the portrait's subject. You've gotta be kidding me! This is just impossible. Like I'd fall for something like this. Witches don't exist. I won't accept it. Something like you shouldn't exist. Because this is a human's world. You think I could accept something that's not human? I definitely won't accept it. When I pulled hard on the rifle's lever, the cartridge was ejected, fell on the floor, and a new cartridge was loaded. Then, I sighted the witch down the barrel. Maria turned around. Still clinging to the golden witch, she turned around.
だから意味なんてないってば。ベアトリーチェに鉛玉なんて意味ないってば。
Oh no, mirror-lead bullets are meaningless against Beatrice, but not against people. I'm waiting.
バカだね、人間は。
I'm waiting for that to be the turnaround.
俺は魔女なんて認めねえぞ。貴様は誰だ。
Will DP the bullet
一歩でも動いてみろ。指一本でも動かしてみろ。
every show will hit? Oh no. Just deeply just cast to reflect.
こいつをぶち込んでやる。
I don't think this is supposed to be a Maria line game. I think this is supposed to just be inner monologue. As the witch, no, the witches laughed. Even the large clock in the hall joined in on their laughter. It was probably telling us that the time was 2400. It was both a tone telling us we had reached the culmination of this day, and a tone for informing us that all had returned to nothing. The role that the witch would win when the time ran out had already been revealed.
バトラー。
Maria's battler. Oh no. Not that. Oh god. That is a twist would be funny. Just all of a sudden. Oh, by the way, I'm female you. Hmm?
ジョージ兄ちゃんにジェシカ。旅は終わって、魔女は蘇ったよ。
And none shall be left alive. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the golden land. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch Beatrice. What? That was an early glass break. Hasn't even 2 hours yet. Usually takes 2 hours to reach one. They had 4 deaths they wanted to cut early. You're right. Oh, wait! The storm passed, and the laden clouds that had enshrouded the island for so long cleared away. From the rifts between the clouds, sunbeams shone, and yesterday's storm seemed like a lie. Just as someone had wished, the seagulls had returned to the harbor once again. They let their lively cries be heard. Afterwards, the police came and conducted an investigation of the scene. The corpses of the children who were thought to have survived until the very end were never found. However, because of the body parts that were discovered and the unimaginably gruesome nature of the scene, the police were forced to conclude that the chances of survival for any of the 18, even for the children, seemed hopelessly dim. Just how gruesome was the banquet of the witch, and how beautiful was the Golden Land. They were not the only ones who got to hear that tale. No tales were told to those humans who arrived after the banquet was over. The best they could do was imagine what might have happened during those 2 days. However, the witch was fickle. She made a point in leaving behind this tale, which didn't need to be heard, and it was allowed to spread. Then, many years later, a strange wine bottle that had drifted onto the waves of the pier of a neighboring island was pulled out by a fisherman. Inside it was a thin, tightly rolled notebook fragment written there was this I can't keep up. This incident was later called by many names, such as the Mokujima mass murders and the 18 killings. Shit. Lovers of the occult claimed it was all the result of a more... Furthermore, while the notebook fragment describes this mysterious incident, I can't keep up. According to the writer, their name was Ushirimiya Maria. Incidentally, as a result of an all-out police investigation, part of Maria's piece of her jaw was discovered. This were, of course, identified thanks to dental records. Gruesome scene. There had been many body parts that couldn't be identified. This jaw was an extremely fortunate find. It had been separated from the body. They judged her chances of survival would be hopelessly dim. Let us conclude the final tales with no other fact Maria left behind. By the time you've read this, I'll probably be dead, although there may or may not be a corpse. You who've read this, please find out the truth. That is close to what Keiichi writes at the end of chapter 1 of Higurashi. Holy shit. To this very day, the truth of the witch legend serial murders has not been brought to light. First game, Legend of the Golden Witch result. I forgot Goda existed. I really did. Garbage end. The witch will praise the wise and bestow her treasures in the golden land. George chose his lost fiancé. Jessica chose the boy she liked and lost. Maria chose the lost love of her mother. Sleep peacefully, Beatrice. Let nothing disturb your slumber again. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice. Time ran out before even one of the 18 people could solve the riddle of the gold. All 18 died when the seagulls cried and none were left alive. You mean I was at the end of chapter 1 for 4 months? What do you mean I was at the end of chapter 1 for 4 months? What do you mean it took me almost a year to get through chapter 1? The Golden Witch has prepared a gift for you in a commemoration of your stay. You can find these new features on the title screen. Also, Alex, whenever I stream Higurashi, get used to that. I noticed that's kind of a thing they do a decent bit. Granted, I know the plot reason why for Higurashi. I have no clue for this. I actually do want to see, because I'm assuming since it's the witch's game, it's all under the guise of, the game. It's a game, so like each chapter is a different iteration of the witch's game. Right. You've done well to make it this far. Have you enjoyed your stay on Rokenjima? The Golden Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend. Oh, is this like the cast talking about the actual episode, or is it just extra lore tidbits?
みんな
Yeah, there it
海
is.
猫の鳴く頃にお疲れさん
Okay, so it's exactly like Higurashi, where after the chapter, it's basically them talking about how the chapter went.
やれやれわけがわかんないうちに物語が終わっちまったな
つまりなんだ？
Just, I don't know what the fuck happened in that story, and I acted in it.
あれは結局犯人は暴けず時間切れのバッドエンドでしたってことなのか？
おおきっとバッドエンドおお
At least Maria seems to be back to normal? I'm fine with this.
そうだね。1日目の夜にマリアちゃんが読んだベアトリーチェの手紙に碑文の謎を解いてみろとちゃんと予告してたもんね。僕たちは自衛や犯人を探るのに忙しくて全然その謎に挑まなかったし。
And they all dead.
そうですねちゃんと碑文の謎に挑んでいたら違う結末もあったのでしょうか
それはどうかな
Can't take this seriously if they're all just like actors, bro. Well, I'm assuming... Like, my thing is that I just kind of assume the main story is just, you know, the story. And then the side shit is just... Like, it's weird. Like, this is what I assume. Like, I'm just running off of, Like, I'm just running off of random logic. No fair, they gave you no option. Oh, no, that's the point, Alex. That's literally the point. As far as I know, Games by 7 expansion, as far as I know, don't. It's like Taiga judging you every time you get a bad ending. I mean, it's not really because you don't have choices. It's literally up to the characters themselves. So if anything, it's like, damn, that was a shitty thing for me to do.
シャノンちゃんもお疲れお茶の給仕なんてしなくていいぜ何しろここはお疲れ様会なんだからよひでえ目にあった者同士仲良く傷の舐め合いをしようぜベロベロベロ
ひでえ目って言ったらシャノンがぶっちぎりだったぜ綺麗どころのキャラだからてっきり最後まで生き残るかと思ったら
Also, I just think about it. I think these are like in the back of my head. I always said already said the actor thing. I think the literal interpretation is that, oh yeah, that happened. This is just like a pocket dimension where they exist. Like they just kind of watch the events unfold. Like it's either that or the actors thing. I'm fine with either. I just find the actors one funnier.
一番最初に殺されるし、しかもなんだっけ顔面を半分砕かれてたんだっけ最悪だよな
そういうお役目でしたら仕方ありませんし
姉さんが気にすることはないよお嬢様方もラストのエピローグを見る限り相当悲惨な最後を遂げられたようだしね
どうもそうみたいだねなんだか全身を食いちぎられてバラバラにされたみたいな恐ろしい描写があったような気がするよ
それを言ったらカノン君の最後が一番かっこよかったと思うぜ返り討ちとはいえ犯人と一騎打ちだろ俺らのよくわからん最後よりは数段マシだぜ
Just, he died going, real niggas do real things. We just kind of had mental breakdowns and then death.
結局何も歯が立ちませんでしたが
Nakuma-sama just walks in, Natsu shotgun, blows everybody's brains out for not believing her. I mean, it's justified. It's completely justified. I wouldn't be mad.
カノン君の死は 大きなヒントになったと思うな。
Like, Alex, I would in no way be mad if that's how this was written to end. The only ones alive are Shannon and those who didn't die. Like, I would not be upset because Heike...
だってあのせいで
Heike Kumasawa earned it. She would have earned it.
そうだね。あの時点では全員の所在が明らかだった。だからカノン君を殺せるのは未知の19人目しかありえない。
マリアは最初からベアトリーチェだってずっと言ってる。
Just Maria, I literally told you the answer the whole time. It was
信じ
me.
たくはねえけど、ベアトリーチェを名乗る魔女が犯人ってことになるんだろうぜ。
Just Maria is like, you should have believed niggas. It was me. I'm niggas. Just the worst it's ever been. The worst I've ever been.
人にはできない不思議なことがいっぱいありましたし。エヴァおばさんの密室殺人とか魔女にしかできない。人間にはできない。
19人目が存在することが明らかで、しかもその人物は人間では考えられない力を持っている。
となればその人物をベアトリーチェと呼んでも差し支えはねえだろうぜ。
多分僕たちはラストで出会っているよ。黄金の魔女にね。
20 hours, bro.
だからマリアはベアトリーチェがいるってずっと言ってる。
Like, it was... For me, that was... Wait, 20 hours? Wait, 20 hours for what?
みんなずっと信じなかった
Because
からダメだった。
Heike... Every time I've streamed this game, I can guarantee you I think it's been a grand sum of more than 30. Just on Chapter 1. Honest to God, I'm kind of glad that Chapter 1's now done. That means I'm actually feeling like I'm making a modicum of progress. Like a crumb of progress. 7 more.
信じないと奇跡は起きないって友達の魔女も言ってる。そうですね。ベアトリーチェ様は敬う者に寛大だそうですし。
マリア様は恐ろしい事件が次々と起こっていっても
I will bust the cap in their pointy
ベア
hat
トリーチ
wearing
ェが脅威
ass.
から外されていたように思います。
God damn it.
マリアは一番の最
Don't
初
know
か
if
ら
it
ベアトリー
constitutes
チェを
as
信じてた
wasted
も
time
ん
and
な。
effort with this wasting the... I mean, it's not really wasting a time because, you know, I chose to click it. And I knew what it was because I've seen Higarashi's visual novel played before. Like, it's not really wasting time if I chose to go for it. Like, it's just kind of them talking about how things played out. That's all it is. It's not shit talking, really. It's just, damn. What do we think about this whole situation? I guess post-death. Or we're just acting. Or we're watchers from, like, another dimension.
でもそれじゃあ同じように信じてたカノン君たちも
Oh, the
殺され
entire...
たのは
Okay, yeah, the entire
納得が
first
いかない
chapter.
ぜ。
Oh, no, you're right. Alex, I'm gonna be real with you. The entire first chapter to me... Like, I didn't dislike it. It was very much a... Okay, we're going somewhere. Why did we stop? Why did I watch them argue about who Kinzo's inheritance money should go to? Why did we sit through like 3 hours of of an argument of who Kinzo's inheritance money should go to, where it was restated like 3 times in a row, therefore, more than anything else, they really needed Kinzo's money right now. Like, I'm still tight over that. Because I was losing my mind that stream because I thought that conversation would never end. They literally coded. Yeah, that.
それは多分
Like, I feel
ベアトリ
like.
ーチ様なりのご都合があられ
I
た
think chapter 1 may be the epitome of it's good when it gets going, but dear fuck does it take a long while to get going. Because getting on the island wasn't the hyper long part. It was being on the island that was the hyper long part. Which I get it. That's the point. Because they're stuck there, and you know, that's when the murders happen. Yeah, no shit. But comparing a lot of just fluff that wasn't even all that interesting, like again, that inheritance conversation was in no way that interesting, because it's like, oh yeah, Hideyoshi, he's too nice of a boss, therefore profits are slipping, therefore he needs the money. Rosa, I forgot what the fuck was going on with her outside of she beats Maria. That's literally it. Kraus, I'm not gonna lie, I also forgot. I really just forgot, like, all of Kinzo's children. To be fair, they almost, pretty much all of them died in one fell swoop. So, kinda didn't matter.
碑文の歌がベアトリーチェ様の復活の儀式を意味するものなら、大勢の生贄が必要だった。その一人にご指名をいただけたということなのでしょう。
On the island like it's lost. Damn it.
シャノンちゃんはひどい最後だったよ。
Honestly forgot Kinzo. I couldn't because I knew he was gonna die, but it took forever. And by the time he did, it was immediately replaced with, what do you mean they killed Shannon? 5 years of dialogue that meant nothing.
せめて
I really
もう
hate
少し
that I
綺
can't
麗で
even say
安ら
that's
かな方法
wrong
もあ
about
ったの
chapter
に。
1 at all. Because a good portion of it does mean something. Like, you get to see George literally propose to Shannon, and it's adorable. It's great. You get to see, you know, the cousins hang out, and it's great. Then you focus on the actual adults, and it's miserable. Like, and then the murders happen, and then it stops being miserable. After so long. Ryukishio 7 DP'd the script in its entirety.
その痛かったわけじゃないですし、それにほら、今はこうして全然平気ですから。
Bro, just Shannon, you just kind of ate that. She really sat there. Oh, it didn't hurt that much. After seeing him stroke Shannon's cheek, which had been crushed during the story, everyone laughed out loud in spite. That's fucked
でも
up. It's
こう言
fucked
っちゃ
up.
なんだけど、僕はてっきり本格ミステリーだと思ってたからね。ファンタジーだと分かってちょっと驚いてるよ。遺産をめぐる外界から隔絶された孤島の洋館物なんて推理物の王道だと思ってたからさ。
ふーん、ファンタジーじゃない。ベアトリーチェはいるの。
ええ、分かっています。ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃいます。
そうですね。ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃいます。
悔しいが認めざるを得ねえよな。19人目の魔女の関与は明らかだしな。
人間には不可能なことをいくつもやってのけてる。
The Goldfish are gonna feel like trash after what? You probably.
劇中の僕らはそれを否定したくてあれこれと考えたけれど
Bro,
も
we gotta record for 7 more chapters and the extras. You gotta get back in the booth. No! No! Okay, I wouldn't go that far. If they had to re-record the entire game 7 times, Jesus fucking Christ.
今ならはっきり言えるよ。
Actually, thinking about it, kind of playing this kind of remember. Wait, some audio files are misplay. No, don't wish that on people. That's awful. What is wrong with you? No. Oh God, I would not wish that. I wouldn't wish that on a lot of people. Especially anyone who works in fucking ADR or programming. Oh no. Like, now, if I was in that situation, I'd just quit the team right now. I'd be like, yo, get another guy. Y'all got it. I'm done.
どれもいずれも全て人間には不可能な犯罪だった。
But I was trying to say, Brain kind of slowly started realizing why a lot of visual novels don't really get dubbed, and it's because the amount of pay they'd have to give their actors. High key, like that's a lot.
魔法の力を使いこな
It's
す
like an active
魔
shit
女のベアト
ton.
リーチェにしか成し得ない犯行だよ。
犯人は魔女だった。その一点に
It's
おいて
been a good
何の
minute since I've
つもり
seen
もね
this Jessica. That is the name that left my mouth. It's been a good while since I've seen this Jessica sprite.
ベアトリーチェ様万歳ってわけだ。
It's crazy how the best sprite I've seen so far hasn't been shown to me in months. Jessica. God. Good old Jessica, my favorite character.
みんな信じた。
Jessica, I ain't never heard of that
マリア
name.
は嬉しい。
Good old Jack I saw.
神様も魔女も怖がる人には恐ろしい存在かもしれませんけど、信じ敬う人にとってはきっと慈しみのある存在に違いないと思います。
姉さんの言う通りだと思います。
じゃあさ、せっかく殺人事件ごっこは終わったわけだし、ここで気を取り直してちゃんとベアトリーチェの言う通り碑文の謎に挑戦してみねえか。
賛成。きっとベアトリーチェも喜ぶ。
劇中ではみんな無視してたからね、あの手紙は。
せっかく出題されたのにほとんど無視されて、なんだかかわいそうですね、ベアトリーチェ様。碑文のメモがある。みんなで謎解き、みんなで謎解き。
物語は多分この時点から間違ってたんだろうね。
そうかもしれません。私たちはベアトリーチェ様のご指示通り碑文の謎に挑むべきだったのかもしれません。
まあすっかり遅くなっちまったけどな。今からでも再挑戦するってことで魔女様には許してもらおうぜ。さ碑文の謎に挑戦してみよう。何懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。
They all reincarnate to get the puzzle cracked together in 1 hour flat. There's it. It's the end of the game. We did it. 1 hour, baby. Speed run. Maria put her notebook on the table and opened to the page where the epitaph was written. Everyone stared at it, getting really into it, as they started guessing this and that about the riddle. Surrounded by the smell of black tea and freshly baked vanilla cookies, they spent their time comfortably and happily. But Battler spoke in a way that cut through the conversation. His expression looked a little unhappy. What could he not like about all this fun?
お前らさっきから聞いてりゃ何を思考停止してんだ。
Eventually, they all stopped thinking.
なんで魔女の仕業ってことで決まってんだよ。
Even in the...
そんなのあるわけねえじゃねえかよ。
Are you high? Even here? My brother in Christ, you just died to her. With those words, the happy atmosphere surrounding the tea party evaporated in an instant. George and Jessica, and Shannon and Kanon, and Maria, all of them stared blankly, wondering what in the world Battler was talking about. Even the foolish, arrogant Battler realized that he hadn't chosen his words well.
だって明らかに人間には無理な事件だったじゃないか。
そうだぜ、そうだぜ。どの事件も人間には無理なことばかり。
そうですよね。だって人間じゃ説明がつかないことばかりじゃないですか。
バトラ様が何を言い出すのか僕には分かりません。
They're about to say it was the end.
お前たちこそ何を口々に言い出すのかさっぱりだぜ。こんなの人間が起こした事件に決まってるじゃねえかよ。魔女なんているわけねえだろ。
じゃあ私が倉庫の中で殺されてた時、顔の半分をひどいことにされていましたが、あれは人間が犯人ならどう再現するというのですか？
そりゃまあどうやったらあんなひでえことができるのかちょっと想像はつかねえけどよ。でもあそこはバラ庭園の倉庫だぜ。きっと中に妙な道具とかがいくらでもあっただろう。
Like Mitsuru, and I'd laugh at it, but that's literally just him. Witches aren't real. You just died to one. Okay, but they're not real though. You saw the whole episode play out. But they're fake.
わかんねえけどよ。例えば電の子とかグラインダーとか、そんな電動工具でも使ったのかもしれねえじゃないか。
それは
じゃあバトラー、じい様が密室の書斎から消え去っていたのはどう説明するんだよ。扉は封印されていたのにじい様は忽然と消え去ってたぜ。
その話は劇中でも出ただろう。じい様が何らかの方法を使えばレシートをごまかすことは不可能じゃない。あるいは窓から出て、あるいは落ちて、夏日おばさんが窓を内側から施錠した可能性もある。別に魔法を使わなくたって他にもいくつか手は思いつくだろうぜ。
それはそうだけどよ。
ならバトラ君、
This is the epitome of that's dumb. You're dumb.
僕のお母さんたちが客室の中で殺されてい
This
たのは
this is gonna be the
どう説明
ultimate.
するんだ。
That's dumb. You're dumb.
扉には鍵もチェーンもかかってた。無論窓もね。どうやって人間に母さんたちを殺せたって言うんだい？
まあ確かにそのトリックは劇中で、とにかく犯人は鍵だけは持ってる可能性が高いからな。チェーンに許される程度の扉の隙間は確保できたわけだ。非常に苦しい話だが、その隙間から何かの仕掛けを施した可能性はありえ
I
る。
hate it because he's not dumb. What he's saying makes sense, but the literal answer is that Beatrice is real. Like, that's literally been the answer.
いや、あるいは
It's actively making me upset. Like,
確かにチェーンってのは えらいシンプルだが密室を構成するでかい要素だな。だが密室トリックなんておよそやり尽くされてるんだ。そこいらの書店で密室ミステリーを数冊買ってくりゃどうせビンゴなトリックが見つかるだろうぜ。とにかく俺には思いつかねえが、どうにかやりくりすりゃ人間にできないことはないだろうって断言できる。
There's nothing humans can't do if they try. So let's be hypothetical for a minute. So if someone were to lift this entire house and throw it, and there was no physical trace of the house being like there was no person to see lift it, he'd just go, nah, it was the culprit though. No magic involved. He simply had a crane, my brother in Christ. He lifted it from the bottom.
それはひどい暴論じゃないかい。説明できないのに人間に可能だと断言できるなんてめちゃめちゃだよ。
何がどうめちゃめちゃなんだよ。兄貴たちは何を思考停止してんだよ。一見できなさそうに見えてもどうせできるんだよ。それがお約束ってもんだろうが。
No!
めちゃめちゃなのはバトラの方だぜ。人間にできるってんなら説明してみろよ。
Like, great guy outside of occasionally being creepy, and then he starts thinking.
できねえだろ。
できなきゃすぐに犯人は魔女ってことで落ち着くのかよ。その論法で言っちまったら世界中の未解決事件は全部
That's not how that
決着し
works!
ちまうぞ。
That's not how that works!
バトラは問題をすり替えてるし何も説明してない。マリアたちは人間にはできない。だから人間じゃない存在が犯人。それが魔女だとそう言っている。なのにバトラは説明できないけど魔女はありえないとか一方的な決めつけで言ってる。
Nigga's really writing a 5-page thesis, but he's not even making a point. Why is he me in
ま
English
るで無
class?
知な時代の人類のようだね。
No, that insult I just gave, that was me. Why did I feel that?
地球が回ってるはずがない。説明はできないけど宇宙が地球を中心に回ってるんだと言い張る愚か者のよう。
なんだか気に入らねえ論法だが。つまりお前らはこう言いたいのかよ。人間に可能だと説明できないならベアトリーチェであることを受け入れろってことかよ。
そこまで押し付けているわけではありません。ただバトラ様が何を根拠にそのような世まい事を言い出すのかと思いまして。
世まい事ってなあ、俺ってさっきからそんなに変なこと言ってるか？おかしいのは俺なのか？
My brother in Christ, probably.
さっきからえれ愉快だぞ。
バトラ様、僕は自分が死んだ時ボイラー室で存在しないはずの19人目に殺されています。それが人間の仕業だと説明できるのですか？あの時18人の所在は全員がはっきりしていました。にもかかわらず僕は殺されている。
その件も劇中で言ってるぜ。例えば熊沢のばあちゃんだ。カノン君がボイラー室に降りてからすぐ後を追ったと言ってるが実は嘘かもしれねえ。 一緒にボイラー室に入って不意をついてぶっすり行っちまったのかもしれねえ。あるいはボイラー室に踏み込むと何かのトラップが発動して例のアイスピックが打ち込まれるように仕掛けられていたのかもしれない。
My brother enticed you're talking to the nigga that died.
何しろ焼却炉からはじいさまの遺体の悪臭だ。必ず誰かがやってくるわけだから仕掛けだけ施せば犯人はその場を離れカノン君の死亡時刻にアリバイを作ることは十分できる。
ボイラー室のトラップってどんなのですか？
そうだよ。あの後すぐみんながボイラー室に駆けつけた。でもそんな変な仕掛けは見つけられなかったじゃないか。
さようです、マドラ様。どんな仕掛けで僕は殺されたというのですか？
But man ran the fade with magic and lost. Like, there was no trap.
いや、それはわからねえ。でもとにかく何かの仕掛けをうまくやってたな。あるいは誰かが嘘をついて。
Why would he lie about his own death?
こうも考えられるぜ。そもそもあれはカノン君の自作自演だったとかな。
It's gonna just gonna the necessary words I needed to type and send into the internet were said. Like, I had to let out some utterance of violence.
そうだ、自作自演だ。エヴァおばさんたちも自作自演なんだよ。自分で密室を作り死んだふりをした。
Apparently it's not enough. Back to the...
バトラー。
I needed I needed to type out the frustration in some way. Because...
お前さっきから頭大丈夫か？
冷たいお飲み物でもお持ちしましょうか？
そこまで荒れみの目で見られるほど妙なことは言ってねえだろ。俺はあくまでもトリックを考える上での可能性について言っただけだぜ。それにほら、死者が実は死んでないなんて推理物のお約束じゃねえかよ。
お約束って？
つまりだ、カノン君が殺された時、確かに俺たち全員の所在ははっきりしていた。そして熊沢のばあちゃんも嘘はついてないとする。でもそれは生存者だけの話だ。もし死んだふりをして犠牲者に混じり姿をくらましていた犯人が別行動をしていたとしたら、全ては説明できる。
That wouldn't work because all of their faces were fucked up. Meaning that they'd somehow have to fake shredding a face. And nobody's face was like full on removed. That's kinda not possible. That, you know, Kanon died, like, literally in the care of somebody else after getting stabbed. Like, there's literally no one could have faked dying this chapter.
つまりエヴァおばさんたちが犯人だと言いたいわけか？でもおばさんたちの死亡については南條先生が医者として判断してるぜ。
そうです。南條先生は全ての犠牲者について確認しています。もしバトラ様の説を採用するなら、南條先生も犯人ということになりますか？
ああ、そうだな。南條先生が犯人の一味で嘘の死亡宣告をしていたかもしれないと考えりゃ話は変わってくるぜ。ほら、これも推理物のお約束じゃねえかよ。
でも南條先生も殺されたよ。
と、そうさ。南條先生は偽装師なんだ。
I'm skipping your dialogue,
南條先生
Battler.
以外に検視ができるやつは
No,
いねえ
you've
し。
lost speaking privileges, my
本当に
guy.
脈が
You've
轟くなら
lost them.
死者は誰だってある。
私たち最初の6人は難しかったんじゃないかと思います。だってシャッターを閉められた上に内側からは開けられない南京錠をかけられちゃいましたし。
そうだぜ。その鍵は母さんが預かった。じゃあ母さんも犯人の一味だってのかよ。
いやいや、最初の6人は無理そうだが、エヴァおばさんたちは外から鍵をかけただけだよな。
Alex, the thing is, he's not. He's just in hard denial for whatever reason. Like, he just doesn't want to believe. Like, it's one of those, he's clearly thinking about it. He's clearly applying logic, but he has so much faith in his logic, no matter how flawed it is, that he just doesn't get it. Like, it's like an actual brick wall manifests. Like, you're just talking to him and everything's cool, then all of a sudden he just kind of morphs into a brick. That's what happens. Also, you've lost speaking privileges. Your words are still getting skipped until we're off it.
あるいは南條先生もほら、剣士はうまく偽装し、方法やトリックはこれから考える。それだけは断じてあ。
バトラがさっきからなんで堅くなにみんなの中に犯人がいるようにしたいのかわかんない。
Like, anytime he starts denying, I'm just gonna skip his dialogue.
つまりバトラは親族の誰かを疑いたいんだよね。
Bro.
そういうわけじゃねえ。
Now you lost speaking
ただ
privileges.
それら全部を否定しきった最後。
なんで don't speak
なんでさっきからそりゃでもあれだけ大勢を殺した兄貴だって、ジェシカだって、シャノンちゃんだって、なんでお前らさっきから何なんだ。
The foolish and short-tempered battler tried to force his ignorance on the others and yelled at them. However, everyone just looked at him pityingly, silently watching over him. At that time, the wise Maria laughed and pointed out Battler's mistake. Shit, this sprite again. Oh no.
呆れてるんだよ。
Fucked around so much she had to bust out the evil shit sprite.
バトラはさっきから支離滅裂なことを繰り返しては何かを分かったような気になってるだけだからそれで人間にどうやって具体的にはそう聞くと決まってバトラは今は思いつかないけどとか何かの仕掛けでとか抽象的な言葉で逃げたりお茶を濁したり。
Honestly, Otter, this is the one time I can say I'm glad the creature is back. Anything at this point is better than Battler denying the witch every time.
どうしてベアトリーチェを信じないの？いるのに。
I'll take 1,000 murder children over Battler denying the witch.
いねえからだよ。魔女いるわけがねえ。
Shut the fuck up. It was almost like a spoiled child who didn't want to accept it so accept something. I read so mething. The pitying gazes quietly closed in around Battler, but they didn't reach his stubborn heart.
まるっきりだだっこのわがままだぜ。
バトラ様、お気持ちはわかりますが。
ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃるのです。
バトラ君、どうして信じないんだい？これほどまでに状況証拠は揃ってるのに。
説明できなきゃどうして電球が明るく違うだろ。魔女だの魔法だのって兄貴たちそうだろ。
やっぱりバトラだけはどうしても信じないね。誰か一人でも信じなかったら奇跡は起きない。だからバトラのその猛獰な思い込みを改めさせなきゃ奇跡が魔法が完成しないんだよ。
なるほどな。ようやく一端が見えてきたぜ。つまりお前らは俺に魔女様は存在、全員が認めた嘘は真実、そういうこったろ。ここお前らが俺にそう詰め寄るから。
どうして？
悪いが最後魔女の存在を俺に認めさせ、それは人間には魔女が魔法でやってみせた。それを俺さらにだ、誰か一人でも信じなかったら真の奇跡はたとえだからこそ。
The uneasy mood following Battler's ignorant rant was blown away by the very soft and light laugh. Whose laugh? Battler was surprised. He had never heard that voice before. When he looked at George and Jessica, at Shannon and Kanon, and at Maria, he noticed suddenly gone respectfully silent. She finally showed up! I can make the joke! It's been a year! Aw shit, it's Chizuru from KOF 15, that's the joke. Like I've deadass been holding on to that one thing for a year. She physically exists, finally.
久しぶりに愉快な人間に出会えたものよ。
Those friars.
お前誰だ？
招かれた茶会のホストも知らぬか。よいよい。
こちらのお方は1000年を生きる黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様にあらせられます。
ご機嫌うるわしゅう、ベアトリーチェ様。
バトラ君の暴言をどうかお許しください。
こいつは頑固です。まだ自分の置かれた状況が分かってなくて。
よいよい。1000年も生きると大抵の魔女は生き飽き、そなたのような気骨ある男も時には
ベアトリーチェがお姿を現してくれるのはとても
Is
光栄
everyone
な
still?
ことだ
I'm
よ、
assuming.
バトラー。
I'm assuming it's either that or this is literally just actors looking over footage. It's high key. It's probably everyone being dead.
こりゃたまげたぜ。そこまでして俺に
Oh my god! Come on!
19人目が犯人だと思い込ませ、まあだからお前はマリアたち、そうだ、俺だけがそうなんだろ。
You're not
和
Dakin.
に通じぬ凡夫の分際にしては理解力は悪くなるほど。どうやらそなたは生まれながらにして魔力に強い抵抗力を持つらしい。
What do you mean this nigga's like witches aren't real because I don't believe in them because he just has a high enough resistance stat? Is that literally what you're saying?
我ら魔女の天敵。
Are you literally saying he just naturally resists magic that hard? He was born cracked in magic defense?
どう逆さに振るってみせようとも決して我らを信じん。だから魔法が及ばない。お前のその態度にも納得がいこうというものよ。
何を言ってやがるかさっぱりだぜ。わざわざお姿まで表してもらって恐縮だが、俺はお前さんの存在なんてこれっぽっちも信じやしないぜ。確かにこの2日間妙なことは何度か起こった。さっきマリアに言われた通り、だからといって屈する俺は兄貴たち説明できないから魔女の仕業だなんて。
ますますに気に入ったぞ。お前は屈服させがいがある。お前のような男にこそ我が名を称えさせてみせたいぞ。お前のような男にこそつま先にキスをさせてみたいものよ。
寝言言いたきゃ好きなだけ言ってろ。俺はお前なんか否定してやるぜ。すべての出来事人間と
She's really just standing there like, yo, this fucking idiot's gonna be hilarious to watch break.
そこには一遍たりとも魔女も魔法も入り込む余地はね
え。よい。それでこそ1000年の退屈も紛れるというものよ。ならば聞こう。お前は先ほどエヴァたちを殺すのに扉の隙間を利用すればよいと言ったな。人間とトリックでどう殺してみせるのか説明するがいい。
いきなり一番辛いところから切り込んできやがったな。ってことはこのトリックが一番の自信作ってことなんだろ。真犯人さんよ。
Shake of her golden pipe. Gentle multicolored smoke trailed out of the end. The smoke quickly obscured their surroundings. and they were suddenly in the hallway of the mansion. Peep that low frame rate effects, baby. The door in front of them, slightly opened, but secured by the chain, was... That's right, it's the door to the room where Eva and Hideyoshi were killed. Nice trick. Nice trick. Okay. You were quite literally just subjected to magic. It's not real. Nigga, we warped. It's not real. It's not real.
このわずかな隙間からどうして見せるのか、バトラと
多分あのアイスピックを打ち出せる射出機があるんだ。そいつを使って。
その隙間からは見えぬベッドの上のエヴァをどう狙うのか。そしてバスルームにこもり扉を閉めた秀吉をどう狙うのか。
隙間はある。何か方法があるはずなんだ。
お前に思いつかぬならわらわがやってみせてもよいぞ。
ほう、魔女様ならどうやって見せるったんだよ。お手並みを拝見してやろうじゃねえか。
バトラ、ベアトリーチェに口の利き方が存在。
よいよい、愉快な男よ。それでこそ屈服させる楽しみが増すというものよ。
そんなに俺につま先にキスをさせてえかよ。俺が降参したらな。だが見てろ、きっと俺がこのトリックを暴いて逆にてめえを俺のケツにキスさせてやるぜ。
愉快な男よ。覚えておこうぞ。その弱き魔女は力を得るために悪魔の尻にキスをする。それを超える屈服の誓いはないからな。そこまで言わせたからこそわらわはお前を屈服させてみたくなる。
Paying no mind to Battler's worthless ranting, Beatrice once again shook the golden pipe. That's right, the golden pipe was her precious magic cane.
さあさあおいでなさいな子供たち。我こそ煉獄の案内人。滞在を許せし七つの悔いをもて。
Guided by those magic words, which sounded like a command, 7 stakes gathered. They were the stakes of 7 demons symbolizing the deadly sins of sinful people. Every time I see a sentence written like that, I get slightly upset. It's the deadly sins of sinful people.
ベルゼブブにアスモデウス。さあさあ罪を許しなさい。罪人の魂を解放なさい。
うわっ。
The pics of Beelzebub and Asmodeus responded to Beatrice's call. The 2 stakes of the demons were sucked through the crack of the door, like billiard balls struck by a cue stick. Beatrice kills Battler for calling her a bitch and not a witch. Then several scattered noises refracted through the wall, making a sound like a woodpecker, and at the end a pleasant sound could be heard. It was a small, satisfying sound, like one heard when someone is chopping firewood and falling axe neatly and easily slices through the wood. It was the sound of the 2 picks burying themselves deep into Eva and Hideyoshi's foreheads.
ど真ん中というところよ。見てみる。
They definitely heard two sounds like a pair of foreheads getting split open. Battler wasn't permitted to see it since he was on the other side of the door. But those two had died again, and this time they lay not an inch apart from where they had lain last time, with the exact same blood spray. That's unfortunate. Beatrice said, "Fuck it, I'll do it again." Oh! just the both of them? Hey, did you feel that? No, why do you... Oh!
そんなめちゃくちゃで殺せてたまるかよ。
殺せるとも。このように殺せるとも。
I mean, Alex, I'd believe that. Back to the room. Killed them again and said, "Solve this, idiot." You're right. Suddenly they were no longer in the hall, but seated at the tea party that they'd started from. Everyone but Battler was sitting meekly, but Kanon was moaning, fresh blood dangling from his lip. What a rude thing to do at a tea party. Oh. Satan's stake was buried deep into Kanon's chest.
Kanon君 Kanon君
Battler was the only one getting agitated. George, Jessica, Shannon, and everyone else was meekly hanging their heads like students being yelled at by the teacher.
カノンはさまつな怒りにとらわれ、わらわの宴を乱そうとした。怒りにとらわれやすいのはお前の大罪よ。清め、悔いてやり直すがよい。
ベアトリーチェ様、どうかお許しください。カノ君は十分に反省したと思います。
よい。わらわは敬う者に寛大である。
It's that deep one.
ふざけるな。こんな三本芝居で俺がお前の存在を認めると思うなよ。何が1000年を生きた魔女だ。てめえのトリックなんざ1000年じゃねえ。せいぜい100年って魔法なんか断じてねえ。事件の全ては
我が1000年を人間どもの100年で語るか。よいよい。だからこそわらわは
At least she's having fun. Just the cut back to. The cut back to evil rat.
よすんだ。バトラ・ベアトリーチェ様に逆らっちゃいけない。
Oh. Day after all, a slight redness spread across the cheek Shannon was holding. It looked like that redness was causing Shannon unbearable pain. Fingers were pressing in against her cheek. Drops of sweat appeared all over her body.
シャロン！シャロン！しっかり！しっかり！
どうしたってんだよ。くそ、なんなんだこりゃ。この赤いのは。
Expanded rapidly, covering half of Shannon's face. And the stupid dunce Battler finally realized.
頼むバトラ君、ベアトリーチェ様を信じてくれ。故障だから。君が信じないから。信じないから。
魔法が溶けてしまう。
For the first time in his life, Battler heard that sound, like a pomegranate swilling. The red spray even landed on Battler's face. Poor Shannon's face had been split in half, and her last horrible moments in that storehouse were repeated once again.
Shadow! Shadow!
Hurt my nigga again! Hate it here!
Kuso! やめろやめろやめろ。シャを恥ずかしめるな。シャを恥ずかしめるな。
This time, the redness spread across George's entire body. It was like a beautiful cloud drawn by milk when it's poured into black tea. It spread out and extended across his entire body. As it did, it seemed to give George increasingly greater pain. Looking at this bizarre spectacle, Battler was petrified as he frantically thought about his pitifully clumsy imagination, about the nature of the strange death George and the rest were experiencing. Eventually, that redness reached the nearby Jessica as well.
やめろやめろやめろ。兄貴が何をした。ジェシカが何をした。もうやめろ。
パトラ魔女なんかにくじけるんじゃねえぜ。否定しろ。ぶっ消してやれ。こいつは誰か一人でも否定する限り存在できない幻影なんだ。
大丈夫か。
We move X-Lex, now everybody's dead. God.
兄貴。
George was no longer recognizable as a human. He looked like a pile of leftover meat after the good, delicious meat had been scraped off to be cooked. The only thing that resembled a human was the shape of his lower jaw and ribcage. And it was clear that Jessica, who was covered with a steadily strengthening redness, was approaching the same fate.
おお、バトラー、早くベアトリーチェを信じて。じゃないとみんなの魔法が溶けてしま
う。マリア、お前も全身に。
わらわは魔法で全ての死者を蘇らせる。でもお前が信じない限り、それは真の
Okay, so this
力
is
を持たない。
okay, so this is literally just the aftermath then.
もっともお前ほどの男がこの程度のことで屈服することはあるまい。
パトラ、私たちは身内を疑いたくなかった。現実から目をそらしたから魔女に屈してしまった。でもパトラならパトラなら魔女になんか
ジェシカ、ジェシカ。
Poor Jessica met the same end. Just like George, she ended up like a butcher's leftovers. George and Jessica were now so destroyed, melted, and mixed up, it's impossible to tell them apart.
バトラー、泣かないで。ベアトリーチェは死者を何度でも蘇らせてくれるよ。だから悲しくないよ。だから死んでも
The redness began eating into the whole of Maria's body. The foolish battler watched and screamed.
てめえは許さねえ。絶対に許さねえ。何が魔女だ、何が魔法だ。俺は全身全霊をかけてお前を否定してやるぞ。何が何でもてめえを認めるわけにはいかねえ。俺をここまで敵に回しやがった以上、絶対にてめえだけは許さねえ。許さねえ、許さねえ、絶対許さねえ。よくもこの後ろ宮バトラーを敵に回しやがった。何が何でも貴様を否定してやるぞ。どんな不可解だろうと全部人間で説明してやる。てめえをこの世から細胞のひとかけらまで残さず消し去ってやる。
よくぞ言ったぞバトラとやら。それでこそ我が千年の退屈も紛れるというもの。さあ説明するがいい。人間とトリックとやらで説明してみせるがいい。そして人間の身の程を知るがいい。我が千年を人間どもが気づいたとかいう100年で太刀打ちできるか試してみるがいい。それでこそお前を屈服させる楽しみが増すというものよ。さあ聞こうバトラとやら。マリアの手紙は、6人の殺し方は、シャッターは、レシートの封印は、チェーンの密室は、カノンのボイラー室は、源氏たちの客間は、夏日の自殺は、碑文の謎は、隠された黄金のありかは。さあバトラとやら、人間の力を見せてもらおうではないか。
うわ
Man, I really don't like how these credits are laid out. Shoot. I'm only assuming it played the gunshot because, you know, Natsu is suicide. Has been added. You can find this new feature on the title screen. Or I guess the Sonic Adventure variant has been added. Yeah, I feel like that's just a pretty good place to just. Yeah, it's been 3 hours. I have no idea. I'm assuming, based on how that went, I'm genuinely assuming it's just the aftermath of episode 1. So what we witnessed was literally like them being in Golden Land. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, that's a. That is a. That was That was. It was much. That was very much. I'm honestly just happy we got through chapter 1 after a year. Honest to God, I thought it would take like 5 more streams, of being completely honest. But thank you guys for coming out. That was an experience. Well, hopefully see you guys in that next stream.